Two, test.
That's better.
Control, this is SD682. Approach to space.covert.
SD682, you are cleared to deliver Fleet Admiral Palmer and Party to Communications Studio 01. Over.
Good evening, everybody. This is your Fleet Admiral Steve Parley. Tonight we have our first ever live AMA with our Australian brothers and sisters. We're glad we were able to make it happen. Tonight we are joined with Captain Helen Stooke, RC of Region 11, XO of the USS Southern Cross, Vice Admiral. No, that's wrong. Hang on, I read that wrong. So let's restart. Captain Helen Stooke, RC of R11, XO of the USS Southern Cross, Vice Admiral Greg Mortensen, CO of the USS
Tydirium.
11th Fleet CompOps, Vice Chief of CompOps, also joined with SFI Brigadier Liam Smith, CO of the USS Chimera. I give up tonight. Commander Peter Hough of the USS Animus. At least I didn't say Animus, so I'm better at that. It's been one of those nights, guys. So I see my associate producer, Kimberly Donahue, in the background, just kind of like putting her hands over her face because she knows I'm a complete ignorant fool. This is what happens when you work a 12-hour shift, but it's okay. So welcome, everybody. How is everybody over there?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning from Australia.
Getting good.
What time is it there?
11:33.
11 o'clock for me.
Ooh, lucky. So you guys are like in the future, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Saturday here.
So how is 2020
Yes.
looking in the future?
Still fucked. Oh, sorry.
That is not as good as 2020 has looked all year, to be honest.
Sorry, that started off really badly.
No. It's like, 'cause I don't think I've ever had at least one RC on here that's dropped the F-bomb. Now, if
You haven't.
Actually, I have. If you've been on here
Okay.
with Region 3's RC, when we had our first live stream, we had the R3 and R2 RC, and we were testing the system. They were drinking, I was drinking. Lots of F-bombs in the 4-hour time frame. Lots of F-bombs. So,
My husband just came in shaking his head at me like, really? You lasted less than a minute.
it's okay. You know, I was in the service. I cuss a lot too. So
I'm in construction. You got to forgive me.
We just got to make sure we keep it clean because Kimberly will come on here and scald us for dropping in here. She's coming on. Look, I see those eyes rolling and she's making faces at the camera and I see her. And I'm going to actually
we saw all the rules and I've broken them already. Sorry, Kim.
It's all right. Kim lives for, she loves it when people break the rules. It makes the night interesting.
We will try our best to hold back our Australian tendencies.
Wait a minute, Jeff. I didn't do it this time, Jeff. It was not me. It was Helen. She did it first. Not even 4 or 5 minutes into it, and she dropped the F-bomb. So it wasn't me.
Well, she's working towards Fleet Admiral. You know, she has to get the cursing in.
Nope.
How am I doing, Greg?
Pure effing hubris.
So tell us about what's going on in Region 11. How's it going since you took office? You having problems? Is that bald man in the Discovery uniform giving you any grief that I need to smack him around a little bit?
No.
Not at all, actually. He has been on his absolute best behaviour. Look, we haven't done much. You know, there were a lot of plans coming into the year, especially for me taking office. I did want to visit people. You know, I wanted to head up to New South Wales. I wanted to get to Canberra. The kids all want to go to Queensland again, of course. But we've done nothing. We've gone nowhere. I was telling Kim earlier, I'm in Melbourne and we're in month 7 of what they call stage 4 lockdowns. So I can't travel 5 kilometres outside of my house, basically. I've got a permit that says I'm allowed to go to work and I can come back. And up until last week, I had to prove to school that I was working and that they had to look after my kids for me and do the remote learning on campus. So getting out has not been something that we can do, but we've all been trying to talk and keep in contact and keep up. And even whether it hasn't been talking about Trek, just chatting about life and keeping in contact. And my biggest thing has been keeping morale up. And there have been a lot of Region 11 issues, maybe is not the right word. I don't know.
No. That would be the exact word because it was January 1 hit and I get access to an email account and it just read a lot of subjects were Region 11. And I'm like, and I kid you not, Helen, before you actually took office, I literally said in here that I got the call from the IG. They said, "Okay, congratulations, yada yada, you won." Okay, fine. So I didn't get access to the email account until December 31st at 9 p.m. So I get in there and start looking, and at 12:01, when I officially became CS, I looked at all these emails, and I'm like, "What is going on in the Down Under? What the hell is happening down there?" And the more I read, the more I got pissed, and the more I read, the more I started calling people. I called the IG at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, which was 2 a.m. his time. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I want a full-blown investigation. I want you to climb into this person's ass with a microscope. And if you can see Venus or Jupiter, then you ain't gone far enough. And
I forgot about all of that.
and I kept reading more. And I'm like, you've got to be frigging kidding. I'm like, what is wrong? I was like, okay, I'm done. And then I believe Peter sent me an email, and I believe I got an email from Liam about something too, about this referring situation. And then I got some information from the bald man who's in the Discovery Admiral's uniform. So Region 11 was my first disaster that I had to fix. And
aren't you lucky?
Not really. It was a lot because we had to. It's not very often that a CS comes to the board to remove a sitting board member. It's not something I want to do. But with the information I had and what I read, there was no recourse but to remove the board member. And it was a lot. And it just it went from one disaster with R11. Greg, what was the other disasters I had? Because I talked to you about a lot of them. I'm like, okay, I need some mental advice because I'm going to have a breakdown here. I wasn't even in office. Like the first 35 days, I had 9 investigations going.
I didn't know that. That's a lot.
Well, when I ran for office, I ran on the promise that I was going to clean up the fleet, that I was going to get rid of the bureaucracy, the good old boy club, and I hit the ground running. Now, I didn't know that when I hit the ground running, R11 was going to be a blockade in front of me, and I got knocked on my ass first. So it's like, at 1 o'clock, I read this, and boom, R11's like, congratulations, you're CS. Sit down, fat boy. We're just getting started. So
here's your tub of Vaseline. Let's get going.
Yeah, I mean, have you all ever seen? Have you guys seen the movie Little Nicky with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if you've all seen it, do you understand the part where Satan is bending the pineapple and it's going?
Yeah.
That's how I felt at 1 o'clock in the morning, Central Standard Time. My first hour is CS. Okay.
Little pineapple? No. Big pineapple.
Big pineapple.
Big pineapple. And it was horrible. And I'm like, but I'm glad to hear the good stuff coming out of R11. I'm glad to hear that we don't have problems anymore. I'm glad to see that we don't have a dictator down there anymore. Thank God.
I'm going to be honest. I had forgotten that had happened at the beginning of this year.
How the hell can you forget, Peter? Seriously? Man,
this year has been pretty
right after that. I'm not even kidding. That's how much stress this person caused me.
Yeah.
And then she was using the word retard, and because this person was on the autistic spectrum, that he was unable to do the job. I found it personally offended because I have an autistic son. And the stuff that she was reading, and in the private conversation between me and her, if I could have came through the computer screen at this woman, I'd have done it. I was that upset with the stuff she was saying. I'm like, you do realize I have an autistic son? I said, this is pissing me off. And I said, you know, if I had the power right now, I would 86 you. But I said, and she's like, well, you don't have the power. I said, you're right, I don't, but I have the power to start an IG investigation, which I have. And I said, I'm going to the board, and I said, the board is going to side with me on this. And man, it was unanimous. Gone.
Jerry, it's
I think
more
the
like
reason
the
I forgot that
Badlands,
it
not
happened this year.
Badlands.
I remembered it had happened, but it felt so long ago that like it was way back in the yesteryear of this year, as opposed to
this year's been longer than it needs to be.
It has.
Yeah. So, how's your guys' chapters going?
We're going pretty good. We're beginning to do meetups over in Goulburn, which the base of our ship is. We're a very wide ship, so we kind of cover everything southwest of Sydney all the way down towards the the Victorian border, and out west to the border of New South Wales. So
now you guys aren't poaching other chapters members, are you?
Oh god, no, we wouldn't do that.
I mean, there are plenty of people in Australia that you could suck in to join this organization. Well, like a friend of mine's like, I'm thinking about joining SFI, and I'm not even gonna lie. So I've been talking about it for several years. He's like, I think I'm gonna break down and do it. I'm like, no, don't do it. And he's like, well, I'm like, because I'm like, you don't want me to be your boss. And he's like, why? Because I'm being called a rent-a-cop. I'm being called an asshole. I'm being called a dictator. I hear a lot of that from my executive producer who's down there in his little Picard uniform in the runabout or whatever ship he's sitting in, smiling ear to ear, but it's okay. And then Kim, there's always Kim. Kim's always in the back corner. Kim is the type of person that if she can come through there and smack you for breaking the rules, she would. And she's smiling. There's those cheeks. Gotcha. So, here it comes.
I'm going to add, I don't call you a dictator.
No, you just call me a dick.
I call you a taskmaster. Because it's like, I'll just be like, oh, I think I got everything done. And all of a sudden, crack of a whip. It's like, nope, commander's calling. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
5 more new tasks.
Well, when you're good at your job, you get more work. Don't you know that? You've been in construction.
It's a warning to all of you.
You've been in construction. You know how it is. Once you're good at your job, by God, they give you more to do.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware. I'm gonna go back down into my little hobbit hole.
I took offense at you being called a rent-a-cop, and I said so.
Oh, you know what? It's fine, because here's how I look at it. Okay, I might be a rent-a-cop.
You were not a rent-a-cop.
Whatever you want to say. I graduated the police academy. I wear a star. I said and the person that probably said it probably couldn't get his ass a security job at Chick-fil-A.
Exactly.
So, until the person can come and talk to me on my level and not be a dick, because I'm very friendly and very approachable. A lot of people that's met me can tell you that you come up and talk to me, no problem. But when you think you're a keyboard warrior or a keyboard tough boy after this, behind these computers, if you ever meet me in person and you run your mouth, believe me, there won't be a keyboard between us, and it'd be a bad income. Just saying. Happy birthday to Kiwi, John Kiwi Kane. I see it in the thing. Happy birthday. He's an ugly SOB, but he's a good guy. I love him. And no, people, I'm not drunk.
Not yet, anyway.
No. The ECAP meeting starts at 2100 Central Standard Time. I'll be blitzed by then.
Oh, I've got my bottle of wine in the fridge, ready to go.
So, Kim, do you have access to the AB Google Docs or whatever that stupid drive is that's got the agenda?
Me?
No.
I thought you said Kim. No, you said Kim.
I don't know how to do 2 things at once with this whole. I'm old.
Oh, there's no way. I bet you I'm older.
It's not my job, Mike.
No.
All right. Are you over 40? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
So I am older.
Not by much though. But I bet you at least
Depends on how much over 40 I am.
I'll bet you one thing, I'm at least taller than you.
Dig up.
Yeah, I can guarantee that.
I'm 6'5" and 290 pounds.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm 6'4". Can't you tell?
No, you're like 5'4". You're like miniature.
You're about this.
Actually, I think I'm looking up. Thanks, Greg. What did we work out that I was? Like 5'3", 5'2", something like that?
My daughter, so we were actually at the mall last weekend, and my 9-year-old has never seen a midget, or excuse me, a dwarf person. I'm sorry, dwarf person.
Little people.
Yeah, little people. Angry little people. Anyway, she looked at, and this person heard us. She's like, "Daddy, is that a people McNugget?" And I'm like, "Oh." And I'm like, and this person said, turned around and said, "Excuse me." I said, "Look, dude, she's a kid. She doesn't understand. Don't get your knickers in a twist," because I said I could probably punch you like a football. Just saying. And it got bad. He was like cussing me like a poodle. And I just was sitting there like, if I kicked him, how far could I get him to go?
No.
It's so hard. No. But I want to give Greg a hard time.
Oh my.
Damn, that sounds like Sulu. Oh my.
That's just
CompOps. Greg's short of the database yet. Greg has nothing to do with the database.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know how much more I can tell you guys this. Greg is dumb.
Duh.
No, Greg's not dumb, but Greg has nothing to do with the database. That is solely Tony Knops. If you have a problem with that, you want to know more about it, Tony loves to hear from you guys. Add him on Facebook, Tony Knops. Send him a message.
He doesn't really, but
CompOps, COMPOPS at SFI.org. Tell him the CS sent you. He'll love to give you an update. So, but do we have questions or anything? I don't see any questions at all. Actually, I would just see everybody say hi.
They're all half asleep.
Hello, internet people.
Oh, so how about that database? Okay. Where is that damn picture at? Oh, I found this picture. I forgot I had it. Hang on. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yes. Overlay. You better believe it. Where's it at? Oh, there's his picture. Dun, 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 dun. So, if you guys made the 1st Brigade muster, it turned out very well. But just remember, anytime you have the CS on, I always do stupid shit just to catch you. So if you don't know who this is Colonel Philip Cox. He's the 1st Brigade OIC. He's puckering up to kiss the CS's ass. If you see those lips puckering up right there. Kim, it's okay. I'm the boss. So he's puckering up. He's warming up those lips to get that next promotion. But I want to give a shout out. He did a great job for the first. What the hell is he doing?
Yeah.
Anyways, so he did a great job at the 1st Brigade OIC as the first official function for the brigade. He did a very good job. So shout out to him. But I told him I was going to bust his chops, and I have no idea what the hell Russell Camp is doing. I'm watching. Russell, dude, what? I'm like, I can't pay attention because there's shit going on in the back studio. Jeffrey Higdon remembers. Oh, yeah. Oh, dang, it's gone. Anyways, so database is we actually, the core is done. We have the core. We're in the process of getting version 3 installed, and we're getting in the process of having the personality modules done. I don't know who's moving me, and if somebody's trying to do something stupid, I promise you I'm going to give you so much work that your taskmaster is going to permanently kick you in the rear. But it's all going to be, hopefully we'll start beta testing it in November. I'm hoping if all goes well, we'll do the data migration in December. If you haven't, I would go ahead. Anytime you get a new award, you need to go in there and copy your information out of the database. Keep a hard copy just in case accidents do happen. They did that in Babylon 5. It didn't go. What? I can't deal with him. It's been so quiet with his computer down. Now his computer's back up, and now it's just interesting again. But so that's what we're hoping to get done. Good morning, or excuse me, good afternoon, Jasmine Manuel. Good seeing you again. Taxes are, we found out that they have received our tax documents. It's sitting in a giant bin waiting to be desanitized, whatever it is. And then we can, they can actually get started on that. Some things we are looking forward to getting done before the end of the year. Our ECAB meeting, our fiscal year end of the year meeting is tonight. The budget's already been approved. The taxes are already been sent out. The database is on track. All the IG investigations minus the one for R13 are good to go. We have another one going in R2. Other than that, all my major goals are done. In the first 10 months. Once I hear back from the federal IRS, we're going to find out how much the penalties are. Right now, they are a minimum of $1,000 per year. We're working to try to get those taken away. Well, we won't have to pay it. Our CPA, who is a member at SFI, she's now the official CPA. Her and her firm will represent Starfleet from here on out, and this won't happen again. So she's working on trying to get those fees reduced. I'm hoping to have a new challenge coin by the end of the year. So if you would like to take part in it, you need to design a front and back, and you need to send it to my personal email at bmintfire@gmail.com. If Kim or Russell can put my email up, please. You send that to me, and if the EC approves it or chooses it, you will receive the first coin free out of that bundle, and you will get 1 year free membership to SFI. But so far, I've got 6 submissions, and this goes till December 19th at midnight. Philip Cox. Oh, I just have to go back and look at it. See, like puckering up. Tell me you can't kiss ass to the boss. I'm just saying. Delete overload. Hello, John Hardy. I see you have risen from your coffin. It's good to see you, sir. Remember, anything wrapped in bacon is always good. Absolutely. So, what? Tell me what's going on. I mean, hang on, what's this speaking? Thoughts of this?
Would a grenade wrapped in bacon be good?
What is that?
Would a grenade wrapped in bacon still be good?
You could die from the smell of bacon. Extra crispy. So, what's your guys' thoughts about them already announcing them doing season 4 Discovery?
Good.
Good.
Keep
Good. It's a good series.
Well, how about the construction worker who's short but older than me? What do you think about it?
Actually, I love it. I do. It took me 3 or 4 episodes of season 1 to get into it. The first episode, I remember we watched it and I just went, no, don't like it. And then episode 2, I was like, still don't like it. Episode 3, I think was whichever one was the mud one, episode 3 or episode 4, at the end of that, and I just went, now that is Star Trek. It just took them a while to get there, I think.
I mean, every series has had a slow start.
Yeah.
I said Picard I got into straight away, maybe because I think
with Picard, you're coming in from Next Gen.
That's right.
Yeah.
I grew up with Picard. Picard was my captain. He was my, that's what I really watched over and over and over again. So I was very comfortable with Picard. And of course, 7 is my soul, my spirit animal. So I was very comfortable with that whole Picard scenario, whereas Discovery was different, and not different bad, but just different to me, that it was like I didn't get that Star Trek vibe until they really got into the science side of it. Because, drama aside, uniforms aside, beautiful people aside, it really is a science sort of based show. Now, whether you get it or not, which I don't, believe me, I'm not a science head, but that's what it's seeped in. That's what, to me, it, is the basis of it. And that's when it picked up for me, and I just went, yeah, love it. And now I just sort of can't get enough. So I think the first episode for us is out today. If it was not late last night, it would be today. So got to work on getting the kids to sleep really early so I can have...
that's right. You haven't watched season 3 yet, have you? It's so
No.
I have.
Hey, let's discuss season 3.
Let's not. Has it all come out at once, or is it just one episode?
One episode.
One episode. Okay.
Wouldn't it be nice if it was all at once? Because I'd call out sick all day and just watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be.
I would literally
I
lock
wouldn't
myself
be here
up.
if it was all out right now.
Yeah. Have not watched the Lower Decks one yet. Sorry, Greg. I just didn't get a chance to.
Oh, Lower Decks is pretty good.
I liked it. I've seen the first 3 episodes. I like Lower Decks.
Yeah, it's just not on any of the
I'm sure I'll see it
streaming
soon.
channels that I've got. So
It's
We watched
Star Trek, but it's like a break from Star Trek.
Yeah, I like it. It's funny. We watched it.
It
The
reminds
first
me.
episode at our last meeting.
I haven't seen it yet, but the animation style reminds me a lot of that Harley Quinn cartoon series, which I thought was
how
fantastic.
good was that?
Really?
Oh my God, I binge watched that in a day. I sat on the couch out in the kids' playroom, closed the doors because there's way more swearing in it than even I think I'm capable of, and said to the kids, well, maybe not, said to the kids, no one's coming in here. And I watched, I think, the whole series and just went, that has got to be the most brilliant thing I have seen in months. Like this whole lockdown, it's the most brilliant thing I've seen.
Oh yeah, it was a cracker of a show. My captain's wife has messaged me and said that he likes lower. So that's a thumbs up from
Philip, I'm not sure of the numbers. I've got to get with them. They don't have. Hang on, let me see here. According to what I have now, it was updated last week. Yesterday, 11:02 a.m. A number of people taking SFDPP is 633. Number of people taking SFDPP2 is 608. Right now, Region 1 is leading the pack, and Region. Hang on, let me look here. Region 11 is kind of lacking. Oof.
We don't have that many people that need to do it, though.
No.
Yeah, but
we're laid back.
Remember, though, it's anybody who has any access in the database. So if you have like somebody that does chapters newsletters and you give them access to go in there and get in any
this is the GDPR thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have.
I did that the other week.
Jerry, that will be a question for our CompOps vice chief, who he probably does not know about, but I'm sure I'll push it over to Greg Mortensen, and he could be glad to answer your question because I have no flipping clue.
Transition for the database? Damn, that's a long question, man. That's more than one question. What the hell is that noise?
Geese.
That's a goose. Yeah. They
That's
they
Pete,
fight
that's
with the
Pete's
ducks on my
Pete.
lagoon.
Computer end program.
It looks like a lost puppy. Oh, there he is. Bye.
Yeah, that's a CompOps question, but it's really a Tony question.
But aren't you supposed to know everything about what goes on in CompOps, just like Tony does?
I'd like to, but Tony doesn't tell me everything.
So how about this? How's the membership section of the database coming? Or excuse me, the website.
Slow.
So why don't you explain to everybody what it's going to be like, what's the functionality it's going to have, and what they can do in it, and when they can look forward to seeing it.
Okay. Well, basically, the whole idea of the SFI website from in the past, everything was just clumped together right out there in the public. And the issue with that is that there's no privacy for the members, goods, all the goodies that we should be giving members what they pay for. So now that's what we've been doing the last year or so, separating SFI public from SFI private. Now in the members section, we can have links to every little location, all the award forms, all that. internal SFI business goes there.
Yes, Jerry. I'm sorry. I don't have the exact transition plan yet because we have not been told when we're actually going to be transitioning. I'm hoping November. I'm going to bring it up tonight at the ECAB meeting, and I'll find out from there, sir.
What, Jason?
Jason's your buddy.
I know. I'm reading that. Yeah, if you guys got any suggestions, like as to what we can put in the members section, I'm happy to hear it.
We can put hair in the member section for Greg.
Hair in what?
Look, all of us have hair. See, we all look good.
I just shaved it short. I just, cut it short.
And you got
Greg, I'd have been with you too. I just haven't updated my shave.
Yeah,
I'll send you a photo.
Yeah, I don't want to wake up and fix my hair. If I got to go to battle stations, I can't go sit there. And, I need to go right to the bridge.
Yeah,
where I am now.
And that does sound good to eat right now. Cheesy poofs.
Cheesy poofs.
Oh God, I love cheesy poofs.
Between Ed Tunis and Greg, there we could revitalize the hair company. That's right.
Yeah.
Rome game for men.
Well, it was growing. I just cut it.
Is this where we begin our ad for keeps?
Okay.
Well, you could. Bosley discounts.
Well,
wow.
Red alert. Computer stand down, red alert. Yeah, I can do that.
You got part of the cool club. If you can get it to work, hit the button, Greg.
Mine's behind me, see?
Oh, okay. No, that's everything I've got that I want to do before the end of the year. All the major stuff is done. I had the budget approved several months back because I didn't want to spend all night dwelling on the budget. And if you've ever been to an ECAB meeting, the main discussion is the budget, and it could take hours.
Bouget.
What was it? The IC 2019 ECAB meeting. I think they said
true, Ross. It's not true.
I think they said they started at like 8 o'clock, and it was still like it went to like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I mean, it was a horrible, horrible thing. But I don't know. We'll see. So, what do you all want to see changed and done at Fleet that we haven't done yet?
Make membership free.
No.
Yes.
Hey, $5 for membership's pretty good.
We might actually, increase some members.
Well, to be honest with you, Starfleet's hurting because they went to the $5 price.
Yeah.
Bad. So, I can tell you that is a topic on the ECAB meeting tonight.
Well, back to the budget. What don't we need? So we can
I've literally went through the budget and looked at everything humanly possible that I can get done and rid of, and I have, and we're still about $10,000 from actually operating the organization next year.
Are they going to look at raising the prices back up?
We are looking at it as a possibility, but it's not going to go back to like the $15. We are looking at, there's a proposal that any kids under the age, I think, of 16 would be free. There's several different ideas that we're looking at, but really the ultimate thing is with the price of everything going up nowadays and technology is the $5 price after a single person, say you renewed for $5, we might get like $2.68 of that. Starfleet does because of the fees through PayPal. I know people are like, well, go to a different thing. We're looking at that too. But we're probably going to raise it anywhere to from $7 to $9 in that range. We're going to try to keep it fair for everybody, but next year we're about a little shy of $10,000 to safely operate the organization. Now I could probably get away with that, but that would be ordering nothing, no quartermaster stuff, no nothing, just bare essentials, and doing away with everything. And then, of course, people will complain a bitch about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ross has just commented about the exchange rate. Ross, that's definitely something that I've brought up in the chats that we've been having about increasing rates. So, yeah, be assured that that's definitely something that I take into account when we're having these discussions. And Steve, we've also talked about in our meetings here about starting a fund for members that may not be able to cover their membership fees, and having a region sort of account that we can all sort of throw some money into when we can, even if it's $1 or $2. If we all do it, that'll cover a membership here or there. So that's what we sort of want to look at. But definitely, as far as Region 11 is concerned, guys, be aware that I do take into account the exchange rate, and much to the disgust of everyone else, on the AV, I do bring that up. So,
Greg, how many people do you have on your account? You have 4, right?
Say again?
On your SFI account, how many people do you have on your account?
4.
You have 4.
Yeah.
How much was it costing you when it was originally $15?
With the exchange rate and all that crap, close to 25.
Okay. So, I mean, if we keep it between $7 and $9,
and that's a problem. Like for us down under, that really stifles our growth. But like other countries, for the UK, for example, their exchange rate worked with it. That's why they've got so many members.
Where'd he go? Finally, somebody got rid of his ass.
But I mean, it's like $9 isn't too bad, but $9 in America is about just under
11
15.
or 12.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something I want to do, but when I sit down and looked at the budget and looked at what the projected income and what it's going to cost to run the organization, we don't really have a choice. I mean, I could do it. I can leave it at 5, and we're going to start asking for money from, we're going to have to start holding fundraisers or bake sales or some bullshit. I don't know. I mean, because when it comes down to it, $10,000 is, where's he at? I see 2 devices trying to connect. Anyways, it's just, we're about, I want to say, I think it was like $9,960, give or take. I think, I can't really remember, but it's, well, Ross, we are working on that. We have a new window cling. Let me go get that. Hang on. Kim, will you take me off live and you come on here for a minute, please?
I guess so. Or Kim or me can jump in. As far as I know, with other organizations, how they handle that I'm a member of, that how they handle international is in some cases based on the fact of, like Ross is putting value for money. Even though $7 in Australia may be something else in one country as opposed to another and another and another, a lot of organizations, they don't have a unilateral membership fee. It's based on the region. So whatever that region determines is one potential thought that I guess people can look at is what in your area, what in your region is actually going to be a reasonable amount for what is being offered based on, the fact of socioeconomical change. Like in the United States, we might have a better economy running. So, our money's worth a little bit more. And so like for us, like, $20 isn't that much. But when that translates down and trickles down to some other countries, like take Canada as an example, that ends up being, almost like 40 something dollars. And how far does that $40 go in your economy? And let's see.
We just got these in. They are the new window clings we had ordered. And so that's the newest thing we have that we've purchased so far. our projected revenue for this is $2,900 if we sell them all. Will we? No. But I'm doing everything in every way possible to look at not having to raise it. But when you come and take the cost into websites and servers, we have to have servers for the database, and $5 is extreme hindering. Now, we could probably look at maybe doing a U.S. rate and then an international rate, but we'll have to see if the new database can do that. Will it be able to switch to it? Because we don't want somebody trying to say, well, I could do this cheaper. If I live in the United States, I'll just click on the international rate, and then boom, there you go. I get to pay the cheaper price. So it's something we have to look at.
Surely you could determine whether they're using international or US rate based on where their ship is.
Yeah, I'm sure they can. It's just depending on how much more. I mean, if we have to have somebody come in, and if we have to have somebody go through and validate every person and doing that, who took him off? He's such an idiot. Damn. Greg
I'm
is
guessing NBN.
Greg is an acquired taste. Let's just say that.
Say what?
He makes really good comm badges, so we should probably keep him around.
Yeah. This one.
John, that's about right. I mean, so we have 240 chapters. So with those numbers, 4150 per chapter would need that to make up the loss. You're pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But are we going to get everybody to donate? Nope.
Yeah. Well,
but again, it's being discussed. We're not going to do. It will not be changed tonight. I can tell you this. However, there will be a committee started to look into the feasibility and what we can do about the membership. So I'll just say that.
Just doing catch up here. Damn computer gave up on me.
And one other thing is we have. I know a lot of people look at it. Yes, Kim, go ahead.
How much are those little clings going to be? Do you know?
They are going to be $5, I believe, was what I was told.
That'd be nice to get all your crew as a gift.
Well,
to stick in as a Christmas present.
I think my understanding is, I don't know how the VCS is doing it, but I know he sent the entire EC, and he's going to be sending the AB a free one.
Mm-hmm.
So they can show off to the region, show it about this. At one time, he was talking about sending a free one to every CO, and I told him no. That's just, it's too much. So, but it's $5. I mean, if I remember correctly, the window clings we used to have, Greg, wasn't there like $10? I mean, they were a lot, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
The big ones, like yay big.
Yeah.
Fair. No, you don't that much.
The biggest issue.
A pack of 40 of them or something.
The biggest issue we face down here is postage. Like $5 for a window thing isn't that bad, but it'd probably cost, at least that much to get it here.
When
to get it here from America, you mean?
Yeah.
No. See how we'll do that is we'll actually ship. So right now the international quartermaster is Richard Sams out of Region 20, out of London. So the postage from London to Australia is cheaper versus the postage from the United States to Australia. So what we'll do is we'll ship a bunch to him, and he will mail them out from London.
So what we might do is get him to mail them out to me, and then I'll distribute them from here.
Yeah. So that's how that's where we have the international quartermaster to try to alleviate some of the postage, because I know postage is a bit, especially for Australia, because when I was membership processing, I had somebody that was a pack of five certificates, a welcome letter, their ID card, and they even got a printed copy of the membership handbook, and it came out to close to like $49 to ship that sucker.
Yeah, and again, that's $49 American, which is more like $70 Australian.
Yeah, that's $49. I mean, the organization paid the cost for that. I mean, a membership when we were printing that stuff out, we didn't put the cost of shipping on the member. We ate the cost.
Yeah.
I think this is where SFI should have said, sorry, you just get the digital one. That's it.
Yeah, the question down there, when we had physical newsletter, it was a tangible thing for the fleet. These days, it's a lot of where does this money go? Case in point, I come from the era when we received that newsletter.
Yep.
I paid $25 a year. And pretty much the only thing I got in addition to anything we get right now is I got an envelope with a membership certificate and a little cutout ID. Wasn't laminated. You had to laminate it yourself. And you got a quarterly copy of the communique that was printed like a newspaper. And that's from early 2000s.
Yeah.
With the removal of that, that's what allowed the go down to, I think it went down to like $15 for a while, and then it went down to $5.
It's always been a 15 what? 15 total for our membership, or 15 for other things?
No, what I mean is when I first joined SFI back in 99, 99, 2000, something around in there, it was $25 a year.
Really?
Yeah. Because I remember I was young, and $25 for me was it was a lot of money. So it went from that, and then I think the last year it was like 2004. It jumped down to like 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
So basically, Ross, is I understand what you're saying, but you have access to the academies, you have access to the exclusive content we have, you have access to the members. Granted, you can go to other organizations, but you're not going to get the amount of, I'm just going to say, crap that we have here. Because it's a lot of crap. Okay. 2,900 courses in the SFI Academy itself. But SFI is not about money. You get what you put into it.
Yeah.
I'm also part of another sci-fi club, and my shit costs me $70 a year.
Yeesh.
And they have less than what we have.
That was just for me, Mary and Jerry.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was some things going on back in those days with regional staff in my region that may have been part of it, but I remember it was $25, and it was really a hassle.
Now some regions and some chapters even charge a dues. There's a chapter in Illinois that charges chapter dues, and they have to pay $5 every month.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not something we can do at Fleet. Of course, they have their chapter sovereignty, but I pay $70, and all I get a digital copy of my membership card, and I get access to the Facebook groups, and the little academy has like 150 courses. That's $70.
But I was going to say, Steve, don't want to interrupt, but one thing that we do pay for, that the $5 a month that people are paying for right now, that people commonly say, like, well, I don't see what I'm paying for. One of the big things is when things do get created, you have to pay up front. You can't say, well, I'm going to sell 100 of these, give them to me, and when I sell them, I'll pay you.
No, yeah.
And Ross, I don't mean any disrespect. I talked to you. The main situation we had in Region 11 revolved around you and your chapter, and I fought for you. But you have to remember that you get what you put in. It's a nerd group. It's the likely that you're having fun. Now, there's other organizations you can go out there and join that are free, but you don't get what we have. They don't have quartermasters where you can buy merchandise. You don't have this. You don't have that. At the end of the day, it's what you put into it. Nobody said being a sci-fi fan is cheap.
Yeah, that's true. Jeez.
But I do want, and I'm not dismissing your comment. I do 100% understand what you're talking about. But you get what you put into the organization. I am going on my 12th year, I think it is 12th year, something like that. And I'm already counting down the days to my term is up. I will be retiring after my term, because all this, all the crap that you guys seen before I took office, all this hatred and dictatorship on the Facebook groups and on the list group, and all the bull crap that, SFI was a giant. If you're not in my clique or my club, then you don't get shit. I have busted my ass, and so has my EC to change that. I'm now at the point where I'm burned out, and I'm still got more stuff I'm trying to fix. So I put my all into it, and so has a lot of other people. So you get what you get. You get what you put into the organization.
Pretty much.
And this comes from Ed, who's been in here like 30 damn years.
Yeah.
I mean,
I remember Ed when he was a wee man.
Yeah, I remember back when Ed had hair and he wasn't Mr.
Yeah,
Father.
so do I.
Wait, Steve, are you that old? You remember when Ed had hair?
Yeah.
God, it's crazy.
I remember when my ex-wife was faithful.
It's like, did they have cars then?
No.
Can we not with the age thing? We worked out that I was older than Steve, yeah?
Oh, it's okay.
We know that time works differently in Australia, Helen.
Yeah, I'm even
that's what I was
older
gonna say,
than
yeah,
I
that's
would
Australian
normally be
years.
because
They're
we're
much easier.
ahead.
Well, actually, we're all a day older than these, Russell and Steve.
That's exactly right, Craig.
No, see, you're closer. You're closer to the edge of the planet. So being closer to the edge means that time runs slower.
You're only as old,
flat, yeah.
You're only
So
as
we're on the edge of the edge.
You're only as old as you feel, Helen. How old do you feel today?
80.
Ask me again at the end of our meeting later.
Yeah.
Oh, the other meeting. Oh, yeah.
I'm almost 40 years old. I have 2 blown knees. I take about 16 prescriptions a day to function. And it literally, like, I'll get out of my bed and I'll lean on the side of my bed, and it's like you have to warm up the Buick because it just doesn't function. Okay.
So if you were a horse, we'd take you out the back and shoot you.
Exactly.
He'd make good glue.
But you know what? I didn't have this many
food, man.
prescriptions. I didn't have this many prescriptions until I became CS, and then it dramatically increased.
And how many of those are for your mental health?
You know, stress pills.
I've got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, irregular tachycardia. I've got a stomach disease. I mean, it's just going to hell in a handbasket. So anybody thinking about being CS, the job is, don't do it. The job is like, it's horrible. Somebody's got like some voodoo spell on it because everybody gets sick in office.
It's not worth the word.
Yeah, watch a president. It's a presidency, no different. Like look at when Obama became president of the United States. Man had good, full, dark hair. Within 3 years, he had grayer hair than freaking Carter.
May. Than May.
Not the years, it's the mileage. Well, I'm like a Model T Ford, okay? It just keep going.
Somebody needs to change his oil.
Yeah, no comment.
You're only as old as the person you feel, and my husband's younger than me, so I'm all good.
How much younger is he?
It's 2 months, but it's still younger. Like it counts.
It counts. Yeah, that's right. My wife's 6 months younger than me, and that's all that matters.
It counts, Liam. It counts.
My girlfriend is about 9 years younger.
Oh, nice.
Steve, look down.
Wow, look at you. Early 30s.
There you go, Steve. He's right there.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I know. I've already talked to him.
Okay.
Go Mary. Rock on, Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah.
He made a lot of whiskey on that rig. Just saying. Hey, you
Jeremy, I think it's time for Sarit to, turn you in for an upgrade.
Russell, you got that picture?
Which one? That narrows it down.
Your RC.
This one?
There's the mileage, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of miles put on that rig.
We love Jeremy in here in Region 3. We don't know what we'd do without him. So should the already bald? I mean,
aren't most admirals bald on Star Trek?
Or she's not bald. She has hair.
Paris had hair. Janeway had hair.
Paris didn't have that much hair.
No, I'm up on screen.
Yes, you are.
Kim has hair.
Mm-hmm.
She has hair.
But she's female.
Needs cutting.
And she's not from Delta.
I feel like it sometimes. I'm just happy. I feel like I've been given a whole new lease on life. So,
okay,
I'm glad.
So you're ready to be CS then, right?
No. Not that, of course. I don't even want to be RC, even though the newest big rumor is that I'm the RC of Region 1.
You know, I remember you coming to me and saying, Steve, I think you ought to do it. I think you ought to run for CS. So I should go back in time and slap you for telling me that. Just saying. It's a cane thing. It's a cane thing. His sister married a young old man, and his brother married an older woman. It's something. I don't know. We ain't going to get into that, Mary.
My husband's younger than me, 3 years. But he looks older, which is what's important. So.
Wow. I don't think I've ever had a woman say that. All right, it's important because he looks older.
Thank you, Drew. And hi to Tom earlier. Tom Estivo. He said hi. No, Tom is 54 and I'm 57.
Let's see. Do you see any questions, Kim?
Let's see.
I'm looking. I just like this one.
You posted a question. I don't know if you got them addressed. You posted a question like what you wanted to see in Fleet. I put a few things.
Yeah, and I put it up there.
What do you want to see in Fleet?
One thing I think to add into the fact that honestly, and to give you praise on it is with USCS and this administration, and including our RCs, it's probably unprecedented amount of transparency that we've had in this organization as far as I can remember, and as far as a lot of people can remember from what I've heard back and forth from other people. But one thing I always thought would be nice is where I'm from in Nevada, we used to have a channel called SynCat, and it would show like the proceedings in the House. It would show the actual proceedings in the Senate, so you could actually look in the stands and see. It's like, hey, where's my senator at? He's not even there. Like, he's not voting on this, even though it's important to us. So you could actually see those sorts of things. Yeah. Something like that for the AB meetings, and the EC meetings would be kind of nice. And I understand, like, for the fact of like there are sensitive issues that come up with the IG investigations and such, that there would have to be some sort of redaction. But I think something along those lines, like an edited form of what actually happens in an ECAP meeting, what happens in an AB meeting, what happens in a EC meeting, would give the general membership not only knowledge of what's going on, but more the idea of how everything works, like how our organization actually works when you get down to brass tacks. So when they're approached, years from now, when they're approached to say, hey, by the new CS candidate, hey, I would love for you to be my director of operations, they kind of get an idea of what that entails, more than just a page description, like a job application. Oh, like somebody's connected to the internet.
No, it's an Amber Alert.
Someone's gone back to the 90s and is using dial-up.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's like the emergency broadcast system.
Right. It's like our Amber Alert.
It is. They pick the most annoying sound, which is the same basic sound. Like,
I was going to say from earlier when people are griping about
the North American Aerospace Defense Command.
Wait, what?
What?
Is that you, Greg?
No.
No, that would be Steve.
I heard defense and arrows and.
We're gonna see like a bright flash from Steve.
Yeah, he had to mute. I know those warnings. Those are not Amber Alerts.
No, that's not.
Yeah, that's different. Let him deal with that.
My damn kid is sitting outside and turned my TV on and did that.
Of course.
She seriously put an EAS message across.
If you're on Wi-Fi, you can connect to YouTube and it'll play on all of our smart TVs. Yeah. She got him to play on all the TVs.
That's evil.
Your kids know too much about technology.
Because all I know is I know that you will receive EASs before the general public will on your radio. So, because I remember I used to have one of those radios too.
So here's the bad thing is, all right. So where we're at, I'm literally 9 miles from USEC, the Uranium Enrichment Plant, DOE here. Okay, if that was hit, they said that it would probably go. If you're not familiar where Elizabethtown, Kentucky is. It's about 2 hours away, or an hour and 40 minutes or so from Paducah, Kentucky. Okay, and it will literally be about 150 square mile hole in the ground that would encompass Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois. It would just flash ball and be a giant hole. They're on year 15 of a 90-year cleanup. So they still have enough there that they can make sure my grandkids taste uranium.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But that was one thing I was talking about, was basically like have some sort of like recording, so like people could look back and and even in historical fact could look back and see what was going on with what was happening in 2020 with the ECAB and with the AB, and what type of issues did they have to deal with.
I think people think it's like a glamour job and not a lot of work. And it's a lot of work being an RC or an EC member. A lot of responsibility.
You ought to try being the CS.
No, thank you.
Who'd we lose? Oh, Peter.
We lost Peter.
Peter.
There
you are.
And I'm back.
Must be those media showers.
Sorry, NBN happened.
Either that or you guys are connecting to us through Comcast. They're like the black hole of ISPs.
It's that damn
keys. You guys don't have to fight NBN yet. You people are lucky.
Basically, when it boils down is, back to the money thing is, we have to have servers for the database. We have to have servers for the academy. We have to have servers for the website, and it costs money.
Well, that was the other reason why we consolidated a lot of these websites.
Yes, we had websites everywhere.
Why are we spending money to this domain name and this server here, and it's just wasting money? We can just do it all on sfi.org.
Oh, and also, if you guys have a region or you guys have a chapter and you don't have a website, you can get with CompOps and they'll do like a one-page thing, a little bit about your chapter. So we do offer that. We also will be offering email folders. So let's say the USS Battleborn at sfi.org. You can get that as a folder to your personal email account. So we do have that. We haven't really announced too much, but you guys can request that.
Pretty cool.
Oh, yes. And we have to pay the election costs. Thank you, Mary. It's anywhere between $3,000 and $6,000 for the election of the CS, because we have to have an outside company do that, and that's per that's per the North Carolina bylaws and stuff. We have to hold elections, and that's anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000. It used to be more than that when we had to do the mail-in crap. That was horrible.
Also, the bond, because people do forget that the Commander of Starfleet is a bonded representative. So they actually have basically insurance that they're not going to, empty out the corporate account and such. And it's similar to a construction licensing bond.
Yeah.
Mike, the organization pays money and it protects.
Mike, we can't do away with the elections because it's part of our articles of incorporation.
Correct.
And no, dude, I will not be CS forever. I will resign and make James Herring CS. And you all got Big Jim. Hallelujah. Praise Jesus.
Oh, my.
No, everybody, Helen, everybody's told me that, if you quit and Jim becomes CS, we're driving to Kentucky and kicking your ass, okay? Jim is a good guy. I've known Jim for a long time. My dad was one of his founding members on his original chapter. He's known me for a long time. But Jim is an acquired taste. Jim sometimes gets upset, and when he tries to make his point, he will kill you in paragraphs. I believe you've seen his report. Didn't you see his report, Helen, for the VCS report? You see how long that was? Mm-hmm. Now, when he's trying to get his point across, believe me, it's like 3 or 4 times longer than that. Not even kidding. It's horrible.
That was a summary?
Yeah. What you got was a summary. What I got was a book. But he's a great guy. He was commander of Starfleet for like 40 days back in the day. Yeah, Jim was CS before for 40 days. They did not have a VCS. The CS was removed, and he was chief of operations. He was CS for 40 days.
Wow.
John, Master Sergeant John Kiwi Kane, your ass belongs on the EC. Just because of the name. John Kiwi Kane, front and center. Better believe it, brother. I hope to see you and Mary at Tallahassee. Helen, you know what time it is, right? It's getting closer and closer.
It's closer and closer to lunchtime. That's what it is.
No, because your lunchtime is ECAB time.
Oh, I'll let you watch.
Yeah, I'll bet.
When you all were talking about fees and stuff, I belong to a group. It's $30 a year. Right now it's $22 because it's all virtual. We get a quarterly newsletter, which they're behind by one, and you get to use the name of the organization. And there's a few little online things like some games and stuff, but that's it. And they have a international conference every year, but you still have to pay for it. And their international conference in 2021 is $450 for registration. So I won't be going. But yeah, so Starfleet's cheap, and you get a lot more bang for your buck, even if they raise the price.
Plus, we do have a new segment coming out. It's called Starfleet at Large. Our very own and talented Russell Camp got sucked into this job to help do it. Only members of SFI will be on there. And I'm thinking
as far as the introspectives there, to give it an idea, we'll have it. It'll be about an hour show. It's pre-recorded. It's not a live stream. You'll have a host who currently will be Jeff Higdon, our chief of communications, and he will host it similar to a lead anchor on a news show. We'll address for about 15 or so minutes. We'll address like pertinent news in Star Trek in the various regions, stuff that's going on. We'll go over an events calendar and such. The remainder of the time will be filled with basically micro segments. Some of those micro segments might be someone talking about how to set up a crew night for playing a game called Artemis, or how to organize a food drive with your local food bank. From that, also with introspectives, as we're calling them, basically it's going to be interviews with the captain and various crew members of ships, staff members on regions, and it'll be kind of a concentrated form of what this ship's doing, what they're doing that's good, and what the rest of the fleet can take from their example to maybe help them do some things like help with recruitment, help with keeping people involved in their chapters, help with better organization and such. At least that's our goal. Right now we're still in pre-development. It's kind of forthcoming with, everybody has their day-to-day work and they're having to concentrate on their jobs and their families. So it is coming. We don't have a direct date of when it will happen, but
I just have to say is that he's talking about everybody has jobs and stuff. I call bullshit because I did a after dark from a fire scene. I don't want to hear it, people.
You kind of did. We couldn't hear you,
but I was still there. Damn it! You could see my struggling face, but I was still there.
Yes, that is true. But
so if the CS can do it, so can you.
Right.
But see, there's another group that I'm a part of that they do live streams, and I take part in. And you actually, depending on what they have, you actually have to buy a ticket from Eventbrite
for a live stream.
Mm-hmm. Because they have different guests on there from authors and movies and different sci-fi shows. Starbuck was on one of them, and it was a $10 ticket from Eventbrite.
Yeah. And funny thing is, I've already got Katie Sackhoff and Trisha Helfer confirmed for January. So, and that'll be free. So, to the other group that made people pay.
Can I get an invite for that one?
That one will be
put Helen on the
Zoom
back
chat.
of the list because she can't play right. She dropped the F-bomb in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, God. No, that one will be a Zoom chat. We'll be running it once we get through Thanksgiving. I'll be putting it up as as an icons. It'll be our second episode of icons. I'm going to try to bring that back out of the Excelsior, so to speak, and kind of brush it off and get it up and running. It's just I've been concentrating on a bunch of other projects at this time. So, but basically, yeah, that one will be a Zoom chat. So we'll probably, I think my account can handle up to 1,000 people in it, but I'm only probably gonna do something like 100 with it. But and it'll be like a Q&A, basically.
No, I'm definitely there for that one. Two of my favorites.
Donnie, you might call nonsense, but people do it. Yeah, we still invite Jeremy because we need somebody to look like that again. Russell, would you please put that picture back up?
Which one? I got like 50 of them. Like,
Jeremy.
It's like,
just put them all on a loop.
You want that one? Because Jeff Higdon remembers somewhere. You know, he's remembering something. Like, they're everywhere. That one?
That's why we keep inviting him back, because he's got the funniest facial expressions.
That's the last
I'm trying to remember what that was.
Hit them.
He was like looking at me. I think he was talking to me, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" or something along those lines. And he froze. Like the connection dropped. And one of the things I think that was in StreamYard is StreamYard sometimes when you freeze, it will just stall out your video feed, and it's a still image. So when that happens, I've taken screenshots of various people.
He has a screenshot of my XO.
I deleted that one. That one was wrong.
So, my XO was literally on a live stream with us, and all of a sudden his head goes like this, and he snores, and he starts to slowly fall right into the table.
How was that?
He basically was like this. He was talking, and then he kind of calmed down, and then his eyes just kind of shut.
It was funny.
John's got I believe,
and
John
then he stuck there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I believe John has got narcolepsy. He's a good friend of mine. He's my XO. I just love busting his chops because I can.
There was one time it was on a private one. We had he was talking, and then he kind of dozed off, and then about a minute later he came back out of it and continued like literally mid-syllable where he had paused before.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. My supervisor does that at work. You're sitting there working away, and all of a sudden you'll hear a snore, and you're just like, "Oh God, he's asleep again." It's pretty bad.
So, do we have any other questions? Because I'm getting ready to wrap it up. Because I need about a 15-minute break before I go into a 4-hour ECAB meeting.
One thing for Greg, for members only, I would think would be awesome is a membership directory where people could post like the best way to get a hold of their ship, whether it be email or a Discord server link or just their webpage link, but something that like that the commander could actually just go on and send it, or the communications officer could go and send it.
That sounds more like a feature for the chapter finder. Like, instead of just the information we have now, add more.
That would work. I just think like for me, like with my position, sometimes it's really tough to get a hold of some chapters because the only thing I have is like an email address.
Yeah.
And that might not be the best way to get a hold of somebody. Like, for example, on my chapter, you have our Discord. It's way easier to get a hold of us.
I mean, that's a bit of a concern considering the chapter CO should be updating their info on the chapter finder.
Which we know they don't.
Yeah. Hell, some of them don't even update their websites, and they go to 404s.
Right.
That's their loss in the end if they want to not update their website and people don't join the ship because they think it's dead.
Yeah.
So,
but it's just a thought.
On that note, we are. Where am I at here? Hang on. Tonight, we were joined tonight with Captain Helen Stooke, RC of Region 11, XO of the USS Southern Cross, Vice Admiral Greg Mortensen, CO of the USS Tydirium, 11th Fleet CompOps, and Vice Chief of Computer Operations for SFI. Brigadier Liam Smith, CO of the USS Chimera. Wait, is that the disease from Mission Impossible, Chimera?
Yes.
It is, but it's actually a mythical
That's,
creature.
that's not where we get it from, but yes, it is.
It's okay.
Here it
Commander
is,
Peter
memes.
Ho, XO, the USS Animus. I do appreciate you guys coming on and taking part. We will be definitely scheduling another time to get you guys on here because it's way past due. So you guys got a lot to catching up to do. So I look forward to seeing you guys again. Unfortunately, I'm going to take a 15-minute break and get ready for a 4-hour ECAB meeting.
Yay.
So with that, everybody live long and prosper.
Thanks for having us.